Europe wakes up to a headline no one thought possible. The Ottoman Empire has won the war. Allied leaders stare at maps, realizing everything they plan no longer matters. The Middle East is not divided in secret meetings. It remains whole, under Ottoman rule. In Istanbul, the cannons fire in celebration, not defeat. The Bosphorus glows under thousands of lights. The empire they called finished stands taller than ever. It is 1918, and the world expects collapse. Europe is exhausted. Economies are shattered. Millions are gone, yet in the middle of chaos one state holds firm. Not broken. Not occupied. Victorious. The impossible has happened, and the empire survives. What if the empire that was meant to disappear simply adapted? What if survival was only the beginning? What if dominance came next? Power does not return instantly. It builds slowly, piece by piece. Then one day, it shifts everything. The Middle East forms differently. No artificial borders are drawn. Provinces remain connected, held together by a stronger center in Istanbul. Arab regions stay within the system, but the system evolves. Local voices rise carefully, gradually. Yet final authority remains centralized, steady, deliberate, control. Stability. Empire. These are not words, they are the foundation of survival. The Bosphorus becomes the most strategic passage on Earth. Trade flows through it every day, connecting continents. Whoever controls that waterway controls far more than a route, they control leverage. Britain pauses, rethinking its dominance. France adjusts its ambitions. Russia watches from the north, silent and cautious, aware that the balance has shifted. This is not a fading empire. It is evolving, rebuilding, modernizing with intent. A bridge between Europe and Asia emerges, impossible to ignore. Railways stretch across Anatolia and Arabia. Distances shrink, and connections strengthen. Telegraph lines carry messages in seconds, binding distant lands together. Infrastructure becomes quiet but undeniable power. It supports growth without showing its weight. The empire is reinforced at every level. The military reforms with urgency. The bureaucracy tightens its grip. Education expands, producing a generation trained in both tradition and modern science. Beneath it all is energy. Oil fields remain under imperial control. Wealth does not leave, it stays, it builds, it strengthens from within. Diplomacy replaces desperation. Deals replace force. Influence grows quietly, steadily, and inevitably. Istanbul becomes more than a city. It becomes a symbol of resilience, continuity, and strength. Across the Muslim world, that confidence spreads. But victory carries pressure. Challenges build slowly, demanding attention. Diversity within the empire requires constant balance and vigilance. Reform must stay ahead of unrest. Internal fractures threaten everything if ignored. Even the strongest empires can break from within. Now imagine a 20th century without sudden collapse. No imposed borders. No fragmented Middle East. Only gradual, controlled, internal change. Tradition and modernization move together, not as enemies, but as partners. A constitutional system evolves without losing imperial authority. The empire transforms instead of dissolving. History remembers this war differently. Not as the end of empires, but the survival of one. An empire once thought finished reshapes the global order. So think about it. What if the Ottoman Empire never fell? What if the world had to adjust instead? How different would today look, and how different would we be?